Hello again. This video is going to be a bit of a mix-up with a bit of this and a bit of that, but it's all to do with making the scenery, including painting this backdrop here and making these little bushes along the bottom, which was an experiment, as you will see. So I hope you enjoy it. This is the scenery, the backdrop that I put in the last video, and this is as far as I got. So I've got some detail work to do in that corner there. I've got the bit that goes in front of the scene and this side of the railway line, the same along there, and then I've got to decide what I'm going to do around that wall there. And this is what it looks like now that I've put some finishing touches to it. I've started taking some buildings out to see where they're going to go, and I'm not going to be able to get a town scene along the back there, so it's going to be industrial, and in that corner there is going to be a disused coal mine. What I'm pondering on at the moment is this area where the old mine is going to be, and I've cut a box down to just 3 inches high and set the pit head on top of that, and I'm limited because of the ceiling obviously, and then I've got to think about the backdrop here, and I haven't got any wood that's big enough to put, and I don't want to paint on the actual ceiling. So I was wondering what on earth I could do. First of all I thought, well, I'd roll some lining paper along there, but lining paper won't be strong enough to paint against, and it will go all over the place anyway. So I'm going to compromise, and in the garage I had that big box, so I'm going to cut that up. I shall paint what I want on it and then fix it along the rafters there. I don't know whether it will go all the way, but I've got some other cardboard boxes I can use, and of course I've got to paint some of the backdrop scenery on the wall there, and the wall has already got lining paper on it from the previous layout, so that's not a problem. The other thing is I've got that disused, or there will be a disused railway track going round and up to the pit head, and so I'll have to make a slope down here for it, but I shall do that with cardboard. It's not going to be used, it's going to be a derelict line, so it doesn't matter about the weight, there won't be any weight. The winding house there used to be the top station of my cable car, but I'm going to paint that up and it can be the winding house for the pit head. There's the box all cut up and opened up. It'd be interesting to see now how I'm going to paint it. That's the cardboard box all cut up and joined together, ready to go in the back. Now I'll start painting the sky on it. Blue skies. Now if I lived somewhere in the tropics, or the layout was set in the tropics, I could leave it like that, but unfortunately I'm in Britain, so I've got to have some clouds. And there we have it, from the tropics to a nice day in Britain. And for the ground, I've just given a base course of light green, and the artists amongst you are going to be saying, what on earth is he doing? And I know that a chap called Trevor, with Trevor and Pat, they watch some of my videos, and he's an artist, and he's going to be shaking in his boots. Where there's a coal mine, there are bound to be some slag heaps, so we have and they're flat at the top, so now they have started to grow grass on a lot of them, but they're still a bit sort of dark. and defined quite easily by their flat tops. So this is a slag heap here. It's a bit of more, few touches of other green in there as well, I think, but that'll do for the moment. And then there's all over the place is muck and piles of coal and rubbish stuff. The area that I have in mind when I look at this backdrop is a place called Blenavon in the Wales, the valleys of South Wales. It's very barren, and it used to be very heavily industrialised. So I'm going to offer that up when it's dry and put it over there, see what it looks like, see if I need to add anything to it. It's the following day, and after all that painting that I did on that nice wide piece of cardboard, I had a lot of cutting and a lot of fitting to do. The problem was that when I leaned it against here, it just really didn't look right at all. It was far too much of an angle. So I started cutting it down and cutting it down, and I've cut off the top of the hill here. I've cut off the top of the slag heap over here, but it's still getting the effect that I wanted to a degree. And then I didn't want a sharp corner in here, so with a little bit of careful bending I've managed to make it look a little less sharp in the corner. What I'm going to do about these joints in the cardboard, I'm not quite sure about yet. We'll have to come up with something over that. But the next thing I'm going to have to do is to paint the scenery along this wall here. And before I do that, I'm going to go over to Blenavon and get some photographs of the actual hills there, so that I've got a better idea of what I'm going to paint. The other thing I'm going to do is the box that I've cut down to 3 inches tall to put in that corner. I'm going to cut another inch off it, which will give us a bit more headroom over the pit head equipment. And I'm going to have to shape the back of it a bit to fit in the corner. So I'll get on with that. Well, my next task is to paint the backdrop scenery along this wall here, carrying on from the coal mine in the corner. And what I did yesterday, I went up into the area and I took some photographs of the area. That's the old ironworks at Blenavon, which I'm going to try to incorporate. But this is the sort of scenery that I'm going to try to work into this backdrop here. And to start the process, I've drawn a faint pencil line on there and of the hills, and we'll try and get some perspective into it. The difference the backdrop makes is amazing. There's a train going past the bare wall, and here it is with the backdrop. Now, I'm no artist, but if there's enough interest, if anybody wants, I'll do a video of how I get that sort of effect, bearing in mind that I am not an artist. Well, the reason that episode 12 is in 2 parts is because when I came to edit it, it was so long. I thought, no, too long, people get bored. So if you want to see the bits of me making clumps of grass and doing the other bits and pieces, then please come back and have a look at part 2.